All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Can't wait to get into part 2 of our Cabral HouseCalls. Even if you didn't tune in yesterday, you can head on over to stephencabral.com/3131 actually for today's show. stephencabral.com/3131. That's where all the questions from today's Ask Cabral will be. These house calls are something that I love doing each and every weekend as part of our overall Cabral Concept podcast. And as I always say, my team does such an amazing job in the background. You'll probably never get to even necessarily chat with all of them. Although if you come to the Reimagined Health Summit, which I absolutely invite you to, come meet myself, meet my team, and meet about 16 different speakers, experts in their area, all teaching you on the best of health and wellness and longevity and how to add a healthy 20 years to your life. You can find all that information about this live event that we put on coming this October at rhsevent.com. I am in the crowd always throughout the entire 2.5-day event. I would love to be able to meet you, chat with you, and also you get to see all of the different exhibitors, all the different healthy biohacking that's there. So don't miss it. It is at rhsevent.com. Check it out. You can even use a coupon code that I'm literally just remembering right now, Cabral100, to save $100 off your ticket this month. All right, let's dive into today's show. It's from Morgan, and Morgan's first question says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm wondering if there's anything we can do to strengthen or improve teeth enamel. I've noticed in the last few years that my teeth seem to be less thick or now more opaque. Is this a mineral issue? Thank you." Great question. And you know what? Just yesterday, we left off. So if you tuned into episode 3130, Anonymous, the last question of the day, literally right on my sheet right above us, asked about receding gums and a lot of tooth-based problems. So tooth-based problems, you might want to check into that show. But let me give you an answer on enamel versus receding gums, which I talked about yesterday. And then I did say I'm going to do a whole podcast just on essentially dental health and what you can do. So I've done shows on oil pulling. I've done shows on, basically a holistic dental routine. And if you can't find that podcast at stephencabral.com/podcast, definitely ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. They can find it for you as well. But let me give you an answer to that. So yes, when minerals are running low, calcium, magnesium, believe it or not, vitamin D, vitamin K, all of these are responsible for that, without a doubt. However, there are reasons why enamel starts to get worn away. And again, I'll do a whole show on this, but dry mouth is a big one. And sometimes for medications, people taking, let's talk about allergy medications or even some aspirin can lower it. People with acid reflux, that could wear away the enamel. Silent reflux, even when you're on acid blockers. What else is there? There's acidic-based foods. There's anaerobic bacteria that begins to build up in the mouth. There's teeth grinding. All of these things can wear away on tooth enamel. So yes, you need the good nutrients like in a daily activated multivitamin or the daily nutritional support plus good healthy food, but you also need to make sure you're not doing the things that can wear it away. All right, Morgan, thanks for writing in. Appreciate that. Marianne is up next. Marianne says, "Hello, Dr. Cabral. I'm tracking my menstrual cycle with an Oura ring, and I experienced a significant decrease in heart rate variability, accompanied by a notable rise in heart rate during my luteal phase. Is this a normal pattern? And if not, could you maybe let me know what could cause this? I'm a 46-year-old female, very active with a healthy weight and normal periods, 27 to 30 days. Thanks so much for your answer. Best, Marianne." Marianne, happy to help with this. So yes, believe it or not, for women, heart rate variability is just, let's level out the playing field with exercise and sleep. Let's say all that's the same. When women's hormones are at their lowest in the cycle, heart rate variability is typically the highest. Now, that's your normal. But what happens is when the hormone levels begin to rise, specifically just like you spoke about in your luteal phase, and specifically with an increase in progesterone, we know peak progesterone is hopefully 9 days, 19, 20, 21, maybe even a couple more days. What happens is that actually, I don't want to use the word destabilize, but it actually increases stress on the body, which then lowers what's called cardiac vagal tone. And that decreases then your heart rate variability score. Also, when progesterone levels rise, there's an increase in some women in inflammation, as well as an increase in what am I looking for? In heart rate. So your heart rate can actually be a couple beats higher just on its own from the increase in progesterone. This is part of a normal menstrual cycle. It's just when it goes overboard and becomes too symptomatic that we actually work with women to help rebalance this. So best thing you can do is run the stress, mood, and metabolism test, and you run it on days 19, 20, or 21, and just make sure that there's no estrogen dominance, that there's no elevated levels of cortisol, because all of that can play in. So you can find that lab at stephencabral.com/labs or stephencabral.com/hormones-test. All right. Thanks for writing in, Marianne. Hopefully that was helpful. Laura's up next. Laura says, hi, Dr. C. Hope you, your family, and Bachi are well. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate that. Bachi's my dog, for anybody who doesn't know that. Bachi, so people want to know where that comes from, because I actually often get questions. Bachi is an Italian chocolate. It's a like hazelnut. Think of it as almost like a hazelnut Hershey Kiss, but it has bits of hazelnut in there, has a little hazelnut on top, and they're individually wrapped. But Baci, I think Baci actually means little kisses in Italian. And my dog's also hazelnut colored. And so anyway, that's where Baci comes from. All right. So Lara says, I've listened to you explain what's involved, what's in Metavolve and how it works. So my question is, would you recommend it for people with estrogen dominance, high stress levels, unregulated sleep, and poor metabolism, also fibromyalgia, but their main goal is not weight loss? Thank you. You're the best. Happy healing, everyone. Lara, great question. So Metavolve, for people that don't know, used to be called Fatlocity. I thought appropriate to change the name. I think that Fatlocity was a turnoff to many people. We actually did not research, that's the wrong way to say it. We did a focus group study on that, or ask, and about 50% of people said, yeah, like it was. And 50% said, no, we like the name. So, it's like, I don't want to turn off half the world, because it's not the name that matters. It's the ingredients, there's the science behind it. And with over 24 studies on these ingredients showing that it works, it literally helps people lose weight, yes, but it does that through helping with the underlying root causes, which is low thyroid, poor sleep, estrogen dominance, poor circulation, high levels of stress. So, Laura, you're absolutely right. You don't have to just use it for weight loss. People maintain it every day because they like the energy that it gives them during the day, the improvement in circulation, the improvement in cognitive function, and they like that it helps with sleep at night. And so, yes, if you're dealing with estrogen dominance, high stress, lower thyroid maybe, and poor sleep, it can absolutely help with that. So yeah, people, we're talking thousands of people every single day maintain with that product. Yeah. So if you want to check out more, again, everything's at stephencabral.com/shop. Just search Metavolve. You'll find it. It is a bestseller. People love that. It's a 24-hour metabolism booster. Don't even think of it as weight loss. It boosts your metabolism, which is circulation and energy and all those things. And again, all these things are guaranteed. So I am not here to promote nutritional supplements. I'm here to help people get results. That's why if you're not getting the results, we guarantee it. Like, we guarantee results. That's what we're really trying to help the world with, is get guaranteed results. All right. Maria says, what does the research say about erythritol? Is it good or bad for you? Great question. New study just came out with erythritol. There's controversy over it, but this is a second study showing that it may, I'm just going to say may, cause platelet aggregation, issues potentially with blood clots. We don't know. We don't know. More studies need to be done. But at the very least, I'm not an advocate at all of these sugar alcohols. They can cause bloating and gas, and they do in many, many people. And also, if you have gut issues in the first place, that's what exacerbates it. So if you're someone that's taken in sugar alcohol and you're getting bloating and gas, you most likely have candida overgrowth, bacterial overgrowth in your gut. You might have parasites. You might have an imbalance. So if you can run the candida metabolic and vitamins test, that's the best test. If you can run the whole gut bundle, that's 3 labs looking at your food sensitivities and potential parasites, do that. And then if you can't run the lab test, complete the CBO protocol with the citracidal drops. If you can do that, that helps with those imbalances. But in general, I don't take in sugar alcohols. I don't recommend sugar alcohols. I don't think they're necessary, needed, or healthy for the body. Some people, it may just be neutral, no issues. For many people, there can be issues. So I can't recommend them. All right. Now, you might hear me talk about xylitol sometimes. Well, if you're using that in a malt spray, a nasal spray, a swish, and you spit it out and don't swallow it, then I don't think it's an issue and can actually be potentially helpful. But again, I don't recommend those things. It's just if you want to, you're welcome to. Okay, let's get in one more question today. This one's from Rita. Rita says, Dear Dr. Cabral, thank you so much for doing what you do with such passion and commitment. Thank you, Rita. Appreciate that. I've been struggling with pain for 3 years. Up until now, I thought I had a tooth problem, but after not finding anything after dental x-rays examinations, I had an MRT scan in May. Okay. In the last 3 years at regular intervals, sometimes twice a month, sometimes once a month, every 3 months, I had massive pain on the left side in my upper jaw, in the gums, in one tooth, severe headache. Only once it happened on the right side, but the same pain. MRT showed my right maxillary sinus is full of phlegm and mucus. I would love some advice on how to help with the phlegm and mucus there. Thank you so much in advance. Best wishes. Okay. Yeah. Happy to help with this. I have never had this in probably a month, but in just this same weekend, we've had 3 on receding gums, enamel, tooth-based pain. So I'll definitely do an upcoming show, and probably maybe a month from now, just on all things the mouth, right? Because we do need to keep these teeth healthy. We want them for the rest of our life, because you run into a lot of issues once you start having tooth extractions, which I've certainly had done when I was younger, root canals, etc. So let's help though, Rita. All right. So yes, when your sinuses are full of phlegm and mucus. Now, when you look at the anatomy of the human face, you have sinus cavities above your eyebrows and below your eyes. And when you have mold there or candida there or infections there, they build up white blood cells, which then leads to the phlegm and mucus that you see, which are essentially old and dead and other white blood cells that are collected in the area. So we recommend, usually, believe it or not, there's a gut-based issue here. If you can, run the Big 5 labs. If you can only do one, do the Candida metabolic and vitamins test. And if you can run the gut bundle, of course, run that. But the Candida metabolic and vitamins test is great. If you can't, okay, I would do the CBO protocol with the Citracetyl drops, and I would do neti pot rinses. The neti pot, I would put in 2 to 3 drops of Citracetyl drops or Citra drops. Yeah, those are the ones that I typically recommend, and I use myself as well. And then, of course, you're putting in the saline packet. Now, you're letting it run through one nostril, you're letting it run through the other nostril, then you're blowing your nose to get everything out. That can be done once or twice a day. And I have used it and done it for many years. I have clients that have done it for many years. Do I do it every day? No. But when I start to feel some nasal congestion, I want to wash all that stuff out, and I use a little bit of Citracetyl drops. And the reason is that if there's anything in there, I want to be able to kill whatever's in there as well. And then you can use a nasal spray. And I wouldn't use this ongoing forever, but you could certainly use it for 3 to 4 weeks. I like the company Nasacort, and they also make the Citracetyl. I don't think that we sell a nasal spray on Equalife. We sell the Citracetyl drops in the CBO protocol, but you could find Nasacort and 2 to 3 sprays per nostril once or twice per day. Let it sit in there for 3 to 5 minutes and then blow it all out. Can be helpful as well. All right. So there you go, Rita. Hopefully that was helpful. As I always say, I can't give you any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, medical diagnosis. What I want to do is help you get to the underlying root cause so we get rid of these things forever. All right. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much, everybody. Come back on tomorrow. We'll be back with a brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.